Here we go. The final topic for the year. Final topic. Very saddened by that. If I could produce tears, maybe I would.
You could produce tears?
Maybe I would.
You
Yep.
can't produce tears.
No, I don't have that type of heart. All right. Machines can't produce tears anymore. All right. And here it is. 2 more days. It's density. We did this in science. Yes, you did. All right. We're going to bring it back here to geometry and some volume. First, the formula. This formula is not on your reference sheet. It's mass divided by volume. Okay, density, mass divided by volume. I kind of think of density almost as our population density. Population density was how many people or things we could pack into a certain spot. Same thing here. How much mass is in a certain volume? All right, how much mass can we pack into a certain area, volume? All right, so mass divided by volume. The homework tonight is to finish the notes. So I am not going to go over every single problem. I am going to go, what did I select? 4 out of the 9 problems to do with you. Once we're done with those 4 problems, you can separate, work with other people, and finish the notes for me. All right, and check your answers to make sure you are correct. All right. Also, just a heads up, all these problems on the notes today and tomorrow are old Regents questions. That's where we got them from. All right, these are not ones we made up or located somewhere else. We ripped them off of old Regents, which will be taken in about a month right now. All right, about a month. So here we go. We got a wooden cube, edge lengths of 6 centimeters, and a mass of 137.8 grams. What's the density? And based on the table, what type of wood do I have? All right, that's a density table. All right, well, here we go. First, density. Start using the formula more now. Mass divided by volume. The only thing I'm given that is the mass is 137.8 grams. So we can substitute that in for mass, 137.8. You will notice a lot in the next 2 days. You are on the hook for the volume. And that's what we've been doing the last 3-4 class days here, is finding the volume. All right, so this is the volume of a cube, aka a square prism. We know the volume formula, area of the base times its height. And if it has an edge length of 6, I'm not even going to bother asking people. We know the base is 6 by 6 and the height is also 6. So your volume, 216 cubic centimeters. Substitute that in for your volume. Calculate the density to the nearest thousandth. That's 3 numbers after the decimal. And I will ask somebody that here. And our density at DJ, what do you have? When you have it calculated, not when your group mates have it calculated. You're dividing 2 numbers.
0.638.
Okay, good. And then one more type here. What type of wood must we be using then? If the density's point, Connor?
Ash.
Ash, yep. Questions there? All good? All righty, next up. We're going to do number 2, yep. You guys can read through there. So how much does the container weigh? How much does it weigh? Well, whoa, I got some issues here. How do I know this is a density question, number one? Because that word does not appear at all. There's something up here that signals this is a density problem, and here is the density. You don't need to find it. Kara, what signals that?
On average 0.25 pound per cubic.
Ready? Pounds. Mass. Mass, right? Per cubic foot. Cubic foot is volume, right? So everyone see the 0.25 I'm giving you is the density, even though I don't use that term here because it's in pounds per cubic foot. That is the mass per volume, right? So that is the density. So the density, I'll keep writing out the formula, density, mass divided by volume. It's already 0.25. We are looking for the mass, but I need the volume. Okay, we need the volume of this rectangular prism. We get that from doing capital B times H. And let's see the length and the width. So it's 12 by 8.5 times the height of 4. So somebody can let me know what the volume of this prism is here in a second. Choom. All right, here we go. Theo, volume of this prism?
Volume of the prism is 408.
408. I substitute that in now for the volume, and now we cross multiply to find the mass. So that's going to be a lot of these problems today, is finding how much something weighs when you have to find the volume. And there are no rounding directions because none are needed. What is the mass of this container when you're ready? Catherine, when you're ready. 102 pounds. LBs, everyone. 102 LBs. Yep. Questions? Yes.
Don't you need to half the volume?
Why half the volume?
Because the base is a triangle. Oh, never mind.
Yep. Not yet. Not yet. Yep. Just a rectangle. Yep. Anybody else? Go to number 4. I'm skipping over 3. Go to number 4. You guys remember finishing the notes for your homework. Let's go to number 4. Hemispherical tank. Keep that in mind. Hemispherical tank. And do you see, again, no instance where the word density comes out? But hey, are we all clear on how I know the 62.4 is the density? Because it's pounds, mass, per cubic foot. Cubic foot, that's volume. It's mass over volume. That's how I know that 62.4 is my density. And you're looking for what's the weight again. So we're solving for mass. Substitute in the 62.4 for the density. You're on the hook for what is the volume of this hemispherical tank. If you forgot the formula, where do we go? Reference sheet in the back of your packet. Remind, what's the volume of a sphere before I get to the hemisphere? Violet, volume of a sphere. Pi r, be careful. Cube, yep, cube. Use your reference sheet, everybody, so you don't get that part messed up. And it's a hemisphere, so I'm going to multiply it by a half or divide it by 2 at the end. Just make sure something gets done. Make sure we're plugging in 5 for your radius. 5 for the radius. Not done with the problem. Don't round. substitute it in for volume into your density formula. And then to the nearest pound, I'll ask somebody, how much does this tank? And that it is a tank. When you have it, let us know. Violet, back to you. How many pounds in this tank when you have it?
16,236.
Good work. Questions? We all right, Kevin? You sure? Okay, because this is what, and I'll describe what we're doing tomorrow, but enjoy these today. Enjoy these today. I have one more with you, number 6. Number 6 with you. Just wanted to make sure I get different polyhedras in. What's the mass of this block? What's the mass of this block? And I do come out and just tell you the density. I don't hide it on this one. .676 mass. Everyone ready to find the volume for me? Pyramid. Pyramid. Take a peek back. Take a peek back. Volume of a pyramid. Test. Volume of a pyramid.
V equals 1/3 base times height.
Perfect. Thank you. Base is a square. Lucky for us. Base is a square. So we got to do, let's see, each side of the base measures 4.5. So we'll do 4.5 times 4.5. The height, notice I didn't put the word slant in front of it, so that is the height I want in the formula, 10. When you have that volume of the pyramid, let me know. Volume, how much space is in that pyramid right there, Bennett? When you're ready.
67.5.
Yep. Substitute it in. And what are we going here? Nearest 1/10 of a gram. Nearest 1/10 of a gram. Bounce and test. Back to you. Nearest 1/10 of a gram when you're ready.
45.7.
Good work. Get a grasp on these today, because tomorrow, ready? Tomorrow, here's where we're going tomorrow, is that the units in your figure do not match the density. So for instance, instead of 4.5 centimeters, maybe it's 4.5 meters. And tomorrow we're going to have to convert before we do anything. All right, all your units match today. It's nice and neat. Tomorrow your units are going to be different. We need to do some conversions. So get a grasp on this density concept right now before we move on to tomorrow. You can work whatever you'd like, but I'd like at least one Chromebook out so you can see the answer key that you're doing these problems correct. And yes, I will warn you, do not give up on number 9. It's the last problem for a reason. It's a beast. Okay, it is a beast. So whoever you're working with or around, probably would be a good idea to have an answer key, but only the answer key open. Not another class open.